We're just...
Sorry. I gotta make sure something's okay. Okay,
Right.
now I'm good.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Count down whenever.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, I guess I should explain what we're doing. This is called All Staff Ghost. It's pretty much a marathon category. But we're also under the max speed rule set. You'd have to go to fzerocentral.org to get the details about that, but in bare sense, we're moving our slider. Like, since the game allows you to select between, full acceleration or full, top speed, we choose top speed since it's kind of the most restrictive category. It's more along the, I guess in essence, bug limit would be an easy way to compare it. But the vehicle that Santa's using here is Black Bull. Black Bull is, within the past couple years, it became one of the more heavily used world record vehicles for several courses, knocking out a few quick times, I believe. And what makes it such a good vehicle is it gets incredible side attack retination when it's doing an MTS chain, which is pretty much where your vehicle is it's looking towards the inside of a track, and you're kind of off balance, but you still go to straight line. A lot of these techniques are kind of hard to explain, so I really urge you to go to fzerocentral.org and just mess around with the GX section. And there should also be links to like Nick Glary and AKC's tutorials that also describe and show the techniques. So the second vehicle here is called Fat Shark. Fat Shark is pretty much the poster boy for GX speedruns and time attack as well. Vehicle has great. It's a really heavy vehicle. It's got really good acceleration, and it's got decent air control. So it's kind of the best vehicle in this game, hands down. And it's also unique since its boost lasts longer than any other booster in this game. So it can achieve top speeds without any other techniques higher than any other vehicle. So a couple techniques I guess I'll explain is, do you want to say something?
Saved it. Almost died.
Dude, it's scary. Yeah, a couple techniques, the bare bone techniques for this that make everything possible. And the first one's MT. So pretty much when your vehicle goes over a certain speed, it's actually more beneficial to release your accelerator than to continue holding it in. Naglaria did a lot of graphs with this and found out that it's actually a straight line of decline when you have your day button released compared to when it was held in. And then the other technique's MTS, which is, like you said, anytime he goes around a corner, sometimes he'll be facing inwards, but if you watch his speed, what's called a speedometer or odometer, whatever it's called, his speed in the bottom left, you'll kind of notice it fluctuates. Sorry about that. You'll notice it fluctuates between whatever speed he is when he's entering to like double to triple whatever his current speed is. That's a very powerful technique, and it's very good for speed retination. A couple mechanics about this game. F-Zero GX, the energy bar is also your health bar. So in order to go fast, you actually have to go dangerous. So if you have low health and you hit a wall, you're kind of done. So it's a risk reward system. And the opener, lap 1 out of 3, you're not allowed to use boost at all. So the general strategy for these laps is if you can do what he was doing, MTS chain, it's beneficial. it's preferred. And if you can't do that, take good lines, hit the edge of boost plates. Hitting the edge of boost plate, we call it edge boost or double boost, but it's kind of like what would you say, like 1.5 times the boost potential.
I'm not exactly
Hitting
sure,
the
but
edge.
it's a little bit longer than your average boost.
Yeah, so it's better to hit the edge of a boost if you can. Weight also affects MT, so just about every vehicle we use is heavy, except for one, which is called Quick Store, but we'll get to that later.
Quickstar's pretty good here on this course, but like Quickstar and Black Bull are very similar machines in their playstyles, but I like Black Bull here.
Yeah, Black Bull. Like Black Bull's pretty much a misnamed vehicle, at least with the stats involved. The game actually gives this vehicle an E-rated boost and an A-rated grip. The boost is definitely crap, but the grip, there's no way this vehicle has an A-rated grip. I mean, if you play this vehicle, you'll kind of question the game's rating.
Yeah, Fat Shark has a V boost, so yeah, it's completely false.
Yes. So this game also has a lot of hidden variables that affect a lot of stuff like how well you can corner, how well you can MTS, but that's way too technical to even discuss. There was another technique I forgot to mention. It's called quick turning. You cannot do anything in this game without quick turning.
Except he's Black Bull.
Impossible. Well, yeah, except Black Bull. But quick turning is what allows you to take corners very sharply without crashing or even losing speed. It's one of your core techniques you have to learn how to use. Fat Shark in particular needs this technique, since anytime you're pressing this control stick, Fat Shark has a tendency to lose a lot of speed. So you want to kind of use Fat Shark like what's that vehicle Kirby where it's like it can't corner but it can only go in straight lines.
Formula stuff? It's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, you want to make very straight, smooth lines when you use Fat Shark. Black Bull is just crazy MTS and side attacking.
Yeah, Black Bull can't quick turn at all. It's really poor handling all around. That makes it really good at MTS.
Yep. So in between every stage, there's like it takes about 5 seconds, I think, from the time you select the course, whenever you're on that little slider screen, before you can actually advance. So you don't really lose time if you like mess around in that little menu, but as long as he's using max speed settings, it shouldn't matter. Okay, that introduces me to another technique called shift boosting. Shift boosting is pretty much the most advanced technique GX offers. If you've ever watched CGN do Chapter 2, that's pretty much what shift boosting is in a nutshell. You just go fast. But that's an off-track shift boost though. Certain curvatures allow you to actually lift off a tiny bit when you MTS. So you'll get the advantage of a shift boost, but you're still on the track. They're pretty much speed dependent as well. Faster you're going, the better. And it also depends on the curvature of the corner, how well or how fast and how far left or right you have to go. Fat Shark's boost, like we mentioned, Fat Shark's boost is unrivaled in this game. So for this particular course, his boost makes every difference. Like no other vehicle can keep up with this. Like even Gallant, which Gallant's the vehicle we didn't get to show yet since the run just started. But Gallant is probably the second best vehicle in this game. Easily the best custom vehicle.
Sick rail slide. That's a real professional rail slide right there.
Okay. Whenever I talked about MTS, I mentioned how if you look at the speedometer, it goes up to like almost triple what his speed is. Well, you can actually apply that to a rail slide because you're able to actually go in a straight line while still getting the benefit of an MTS. So, but the bad thing is, once you end that MTS, you usually drop down in speed by like triple digits. I mean, it's a huge speed loss. So, there's very, very few instances of someone doing it and being beneficial during, the first 3 laps. But it's always worth it going on right before you cross the finish line on the third, because you won't get that negative beneficial. Okay, this is Quick Store for those of you catching on. Quick Store is the best MTS vehicle that we use, and it also has the best air control. If you watch his speed when he does any MTS, you'll notice it jumps up to like 3,000 every time. And coupled with boost, it's a very, very strong vehicle. But it does have its downsides. It's a very light vehicle, so it doesn't really.
Why did I go for that, man?
You actually survived that.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky.
Static did probably the stupidest thing you could ever do in a marathon, and somehow survived.
I'm really unlucky at that too.
I'm thankful you did it because that introduces us to another technique, which is this is kind of luck. Well, I wouldn't call it luck dependent, but we kind of consider it luck dependent because the whole thing you do is you slam against the wall and hope the game, does you a solid and lets you cross the finish line. That's called a suicide finish. And because of the distance he was from the goal, we call those super suicides. Comparing super suicides versus just going across the goal or doing a rail slide, they can save several seconds. Like, I'd say, at least on Drift Highway, it saves maybe 2 seconds. And that's actually a short distance. There's other suicides that are longer distance than that. But moving on, the vehicle of choice here is Gallant Gallant Star G4. This is the heaviest vehicle we use in competitive time attack, excluding a certain vehicle name. This vehicle has actually got very, very good speed resonation. Its MT is the best in this game that we use. So when it uses any of the techniques, like when it MTSs, it'll exit among other vehicles with more speed. So this vehicle will always achieve other vehicles. Now, these dives that he was doing, that's called, I believe it's called floating. Which all it means is while you're diving, you just make your vehicle horizontal, and you kind of float for a little bit, and then you dive again. That's particularly useful here because steps on aerodive are terrible. You just lose a lot of speed going down. And I forgot to also mention a technique called MTS into side attack. At the top of the course, you've seen how he went sideways and just side attack downwards. That's called MTS ISB, or momentum MTS into side attack. all that really means is while you're diving, you point your vehicle in such a way that the side attacks that you're using push your speed up as well as working with gravity, so that you get a much higher speed. And coupled with that little float, it kind of, it saves a ton of time, and it actually makes a shift boost possible. This is Green Plant Mobius Ring. It's called Mobius Ring because you have to actually do 2 laps per one done. And interesting enough, Sanic is using Black Bull here. This vehicle was not really used a lot here, but Sanic kind of proved that it is a world record contender. It's probably not the most optimal vehicle, but
Nope.
it can probably get a world record at the moment.
Yep.
And we would have never considered this 2 to 3 years ago. It would be possible just because,
I'd even like
as
a
I
month
mentioned,
ago.
yeah, it was actually a month ago where Sanic, I mean, that's his current PB on this course. But yeah, we did talk about Gallon, how it has the best speed retination. Well, this course doesn't really have a lot of areas where you could just like hit boosters and just, I mean, it's just a barren course.
Yep.
So that's why even with Fat Shark's boost, Gallant always comes out ahead. And Sanic introduced you to another technique called mine boosting. So mines are bad. When you hit them, they're meant to take damage off you. But they also have a secondary effect, and that's propel you forward with a little bit more velocity. Well, if you do like 2 in a row, I think you get a shift boost. You get a shift boost after it, right?
On the triple mine boost at the start of Mobius Ring, you can get a shift boost after the 3rd one. And it just goes
Like,
stupid fast.
But like actually doing the mine boost gives you that shift boost, right?
Sort of. I think it's mainly just the speed in that area. I don't know.
Okay. But in general, hitting mine boost and emptying after you do it allows you to keep that speed, which the game was supposed to be, taking from you. Like, it was supposed to be a negative side effect of hitting a mine boost, but we kind of used it for our advantage. So this is the first pipe track. Pipe physics in GX are
terrible.
I'd say questionable because
Sure.
we don't really like pipe tracks. Pipe tracks are very easy to lose grip on, as you can probably tell. And I forgot to mention this, but Fat Shark is the most slippery vehicle we use. If anytime you're hitting the control stick, you're losing speed. I mean, you can go test this right now if you have the game. Like, if you quick turn versus just using the C-stick, control stick, you lose a lot of speed. And for this course in particular, it has enough boost plates that it warrants it being the most optimal vehicle, hands down. So you have a slippery vehicle on a course that's causing slippage easily. So this is where Fat Shark control, comes in handy. And this little section here with all the bumps on it, that's kind of a wild portion. You kind of just have to hope that right before the portion that you lined up your vehicle pretty dead on. Very nice time for that. 203 is a very strong time for Town long fight. I mean, world record is what, a 159?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a strong time. Do you need quiet for this course, or can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna die a few times in this course, so it's really risky.
Are
I'm
you
gonna do
using
the stupid strats too.
Are you going for balls deep or
Oh yeah,
are you?
I'll try. Like, I'll try to do like what happens, you know. Like if I don't feel like I'm gonna survive, I'll try the other strats
Okay.
as they come up.
Okay. Mute City Zero Gaps is probably the most reset heavy course we do in Time Attack ever. This is actually one of the coolest Time Attacks to do, because you see that little section in the middle that looks like what is it, like an N or something? Well, we're pretty much going to skip that whole thing by just flying over it.
Yeah, that's just the hard part, man.
Yeah. Like, everything about this course is...
That's dumb.
Okay,
so that 2 is really unpredictable. Like anything can
Yeah.
happen, you just gotta try to roll with it.
Yeah, this is a very... Like, every section of this course has shift boost potential, and in that tunnel, he hit a mine, and that actually propelled him off the course, and it kind of ended there.
Yeah, I didn't get enough height.
Yeah. This is a very frustrating course, to say the least.
There's a little back up here.
But it's also one of the coolest to do. This shows you why any course that has like any kind of diving section that you want to use a heavy vehicle in, because you're able to retain your speed a lot with Gallon.
Alright, you gotta be careful, I have no energy.
Now, those boost, those jump
Left.
plates right there. Just left the staff here, so it's cool. But yeah, the way jump plates work in this game, I mean, you just run into them and they propel you high, but the benefits of an MTS allow you to jump higher. And also, if you're in boost state, it also propels you higher. But I can definitely say those jump plates were not intended to be used like that at all.
Yeah, there's a bunch of checkpoints and stuff that'll try to stop you, but you can still kind of make your way around.
You have to kind of go left a tiny bit, and then you have to go right. And if you're not high enough, the course would just say, you know...
Yeah, there's a kill box near where you want to land. You have to try to avoid that too.
Alright, so this is the second type of pipe course in this game. The first one was long pipe, where he was inside the pipe. Now he's going to be on the outside of the pipe. Both of them are... I would... This is just me, but I would say being on the outside of the pipe is easier to control.
Yeah, it's more fun, I guess.
But the bad part about being on the outside of the track is there is like infinite shift boost potential. Like this is one of those courses where if you're just going fast enough and you MTS, you could probably land a few shift boosts. So it's an interesting course that I would love if somebody like E-Dragon GX would task.
Oh. So this is wonderful physics in action there.
Yeah. Yes. This is the same thing like on long pipe. You want to have good fat shark control, but sometimes you're going unexpectedly fast that a quick turn a tiny bit too late, and your vehicle just like it does its thing.
So the staff goes to this level is actually pretty good. It does a lot of shift boosts, which is kind of surprising where staff goes.
And it's actually Blackpool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blackpool has the highest non-boosting top speed of any vehicle in this game. At least of the non-customs. I guess I forgot to mention, but non-custom vehicles are what the game provides you with. Like, Blue Falcon, Wild Goose, all the vehicles that you see in here. The custom vehicles are ones that we're allowed to build because the game has its own editor system. It's not a track editor, it's actually a vehicle editor system, which F-Zero X had the track editor. Not sure why they got rid of it. But yeah, this course is pretty much fat shark control, a lot of MTS in the shift boost. It's actually a very difficult course. And 225 is a very solid time, even with that like 180 there or whatever it was.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you'll notice like a lot of staff ghosts that he's beating, they have their own setting, and sometimes we're only beating them by 10 seconds, but on a lot of courses we're annihilating the staff ghost. That'll become more apparent when we get the Diamond Cup, since they're they're longer courses and they have more presence of shift boosting. But yeah, this game also, we have 3 categories for this game. We have what's called max speed, which is what you're watching now. I compared it to bug limit since it's restrictive, but it still allows you to do the techniques as long as you don't checkpoint skip or do any kind of glitch like hyperspeed side attack. You would have to go on FZeroCentral.org to get more details on this. Snaking is the second type. Snaking is where you use full acceleration, which is all the way onto the left. Snaking is pretty much anytime you hit left L, the left trigger, and then right in the R trigger, and you just alternate it in a snaking pattern essentially. Your vehicle will attain speeds of like over 2,000 on the opening lap without any assistance besides that. It still follows the same guidelines of max speed, where you're not allowed the checkpoint skip. You're not allowed to do the hyperspeed side attacks. And in general, I believe only snaking is the technique used to attain the fastest times on every course. I don't know if any do you know which max speed times are faster than snaking? Is it just FFU?
Trident and I think lateral shift is like faster by like a couple tenths of a second.
Which course?
Lateral shift.
Okay, so there's only two. Pretty much, there's only 2 courses that are faster max speed than snaking. But that's its own play style, so we consider it separate. And then there's the final one called open ladder. We call it open ladder because anything goes. As long as you're not using cheats, you can use any technique. And generally, what you use. Yes, actually, the devs knew about shift boosting. That's a good question, Lilat. The staff ghost for stand ocean lateral shift, it uses a shift boost when it's set as time, even though it's like a 2-minute time.
Yeah, I can show that off when I get to it.
Yeah, he'll show you. And the staff ghost for OSMS, Outer Space Meter Stream, it uses blatantly snakes. Like, so it's kind of interesting that the staff goes for this game, even though we're restricting ourselves to max speed. They're using snaking techniques as well. So some of them it makes a little bit of challenge, at least when we're doing non-custom play. But yeah, the open ladder is pretty much checkpoint skipping and snaking combined. Since the open ladder is any way you want to play, the general strategy is to pretty much go around and in reverse of a lot of checkpoints to trick the game into saying that you completed this course in 30 seconds properly, pretty much. It's pretty much an art. That's all I can really say to describe it. It's very hard to do. a lot of techniques for that are like actually frame perfect. And frame perfect in a game where you go over 2,000 is kind of crazy.
So I expected to die a bunch here, so like I'm so well within my estimate time.
That just shows you what kind of game this is. This is a tough game. For those of you who don't know, Super Sonic, the guy who's doing the run right now, he is ranked number 2 on the max speed ladder, behind only CGN for the total time. So he's really good at this game, but you can see even he makes these mistakes. Like, this is a very punishing game for everybody.
This track in particular is really grueling.
Yes.
You got those difficult shift boosts and then it's just long.
We're also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Bob brought a good point, but if you finish a course in under 20 seconds, the game will actually, at least on the, is it on the English version or Japanese version?
Japanese version will still save.
But on,
the other
I think it's on, yeah, I think it's on English, where if you finish a course in under 20 seconds, it kind of it gives you the VS results screen. It won't show you your lap times, but it'll show you your final time. Interesting, yeah, that's a kind of, I mean, no one, I don't think they even thought you would ever complete any course in under 20 seconds. But I'm glad we proved them wrong. So Casino, those are the second type of shift boost he's doing. The first one's on track, the second one are off track. Off track ones have the potential, if you miss them, you're done. And the faster you're going, the faster your vehicle strafes off the course to perform the boost. I don't know the actual reasons why these work, but it can be assumed that because you're off the course, when you're off the course, you need to hit the A button, because when you do that, I guess the game thinks you're in a permanent dive state, which accelerates you. But by going back on the course, you retain a lot of that speed as long as you're MT, which is when you aren't holding the A button. So that's why you get that explosive speed right there. Shift boosts from off track, I believe, are more powerful than ones on track. But, it's very high risk, but it's very high reward. Now, Casino Palace Double Branches is a very, very interesting course. You want to go fast, but there's approximately, I think it's 3 points on this course where if you're going too fast, the gravity of the track won't hold, so you'll actually fling out because you're actually upside down at these points. So if you're going too fast, this is weird to explain. You're upside down, you're going too fast, so you kind of just disconnect from the track. So that's why a lot of points he's slowing down on purpose, right before a blind corner.
Like right here.
Yes, right here, after the clown that said good luck. And as you can see, Double Branches has a lot of boost plates. If there's a lot of boost,
nice double
that's
shift
fast. So Super Sonic just got a, was that a triple shift boost?
I think it was just a double. But...
Okay, he got an obscenely fast shift boost, which I'm pretty sure is frame perfect, because you should have died there, actually. But he went so, that was so precise, I can't explain it.
I got lucky. That's about it.
Yes, lucky, that's kind of a go-to thing. Okay, Lightning Half Pipe is, it's kind of a pseudo pipe course. It's got elements of a pipe where it's I mean, the name kind of says it all. It's a half pipe. So you're not really gonna lose grip like you would in a long pipe, but you still have sections that have pipe physics. So this course here has a very cool setup at the start where you can get a double shift boost, and getting that double shift boost makes life easier on this course.
I'm gonna attempt it here on lap 2. I'm gonna let off right about now.
So what he's doing
And
is we have kind of a setup where you release the accelerator at a certain point, and then you repress it when you get to the boost plate. By doing that, it's actually quite consistent compared to just blindly doing it.
That's not for me.
And doing it saves, I think it saves a boost or two for lap 2, which you can use for a lot of other things. Because Fat Shark's boost is very, very good. This course also has lasers. I forgot. I think is this the first course that has lasers?
I think it's the only course in lasers.
Okay. So the way lasers work is, however long you're inside their hitbox, they'll drain your energy. That's not that big of a problem since you're near the end of the course anyways, and there's a refiller. There's little rainbow things on the course that I forgot to mention are refillers. Because health's energy and energy's health, you want to hit these all the time. There's very few exceptions where you want to deliberately skip refillers on boost laps. And I believe, there's only a couple courses. But on this course, lap, like if you're at very low health, and you hit those when you have 0.001 or whatever low it is, you'll just die. So,
it's to catch you out when you have no energy left.
Yeah, so you probably won't have that happen as often, but it's one of those things you have to keep in mind. Even though you're going for fast times, you have to think about that small thing. So I guess I should explain playstyles in this game. GX has a really expansive playstyle. We have a lot of people on the ladder that have their own particular play. Like, for instance, we have someone called Rolly, who's a Japanese runner of this game. I believe he's retired. But his playstyle was Fat Shark, non-side attack, Fat Shark only, where he would set times on all of his courses using only Fat Shark and only without using side attacks. We have a runner that a lot of people probably know from Star Fox called Firehawk or Hayate. Hayate ran this game using only the Staff Ghost vehicles as well as non-side attack, I believe. And I believe he's top 50 on the ladder. So, those are a couple playstyles, but when it comes down to it, there's really only two: non-side attack play and anything goes play, which is using quick star, using lighter vehicles, and using side attacks. The side attack function in this game was meant for you to attack your opponents so that you can get, this is kind of like a combat racer, but a lot of runners back in the day found that it actually has use for gaining speed. When you're in the air and like you're gravitating towards the left or right side of a track, when you side attack, you gain the benefits of it.
That was close.
That was a very ballsy side attack there. But yeah, Big Blue Ordeal.
Oh no, I
really
hit the
difficult.
wall.
You didn't go for it, did you?
I
Nice. Okay, so that is a... I don't know how to explain that suicide he just did. The ramp here has like a very odd physics. So if you just grind against a wall, it shoots you forward at, 3,000 kilometers. You still okay for me talking for this course?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just playing.
Alright, so this is a big boy track, I'll say.
Yeah, sure.
It's this is called Cosmo Terminal Trident. I believe it's the only Cosmo Terminal course ever made.
Yeah,
But
same one.
this course has one section of rails, and that is at the start.
And at the final corner. But, yeah,
Yeah.
no walls basically. Most of it.
Yeah. So pretty much if you fall off the course, you're done. And we did go over that this game has shift boost where if you go off the track and back on, you gain speed. So if you put 2 and 2 together, this is a insanely difficult course to get a very fast time. Because every time you go off the track, you're risking the potential of you losing your run. And you have to do this for 3 laps. Thankfully, a lot of shift boosts on here are nearly 100% consistent. At least the ones in between where the track splits after the big dive at the end. Those shift boosts are the easiest you'll ever do in this game because you're already carrying a lot of speed. And the faster you're going, the stronger your strafe is. So it also makes it easier to do these shift boosts. The only time shift boosting is noticeably harder is if you're going at speeds of like 1,200 or 1,500 kilometers. That's when you'll start noticing it's like hard. But when you get above those speeds, your consistency should really happen. So Sanic's about to lap the Staff Ghost on this course. I mean, this is the biggest course ever made in F-Zero games, by the way. I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's like, I mean, it's incredibly massive. Dude, sub 2 in a marathon. Sub 2 in a marathon.
That was deathless too, right? That makes up for double branches.
When I say 100% consistent, I meant the ones where you go from one lane to the other, like where he went from right to left. Because your strafing is so high there that you're going to clear that gap. Absolutely. So as long as you just tap the A button, you get the shift boost.
Alright, watch the Staff Ghost. Show off how he does the shift boost.
Okay. So Sand Ocean lateral shift is, I mean, as its name says, lateral shift. So we kind of take that to heart and just laterally shift boost every corner we possibly see. So I should mention, when you're going fast in this game, the faster you're... Okay, that was unfortunate, but that's happened. But, the faster you're going... Wait, what was I talking about? You completely derailed my train of thought.
My bad.
Okay, I know what I was talking about. I mentioned when we MT because we lose speed at a linear rate. I believe that's how the functions always work. So, but when you're holding the A button in, you lose that speed dramatically faster the faster you're going. So, when we're at speeds of like 3,000 kilometers, that's such a high speed that we have to sometimes not shift boost. There are certain instances on lateral shift where Like if you watch the world record run, CGN foregoes doing a shift boost at a couple corners just because he's going too fast. And yes, going too fast in GX is it is a thing, but it's like the most uncommon thing you'll ever see. Because you do want to go fast, but you don't want to. Oh, nice lap. But yes, I was going to talk about Boost State MT, but I think this track coming up is the perfect way to explain it. So this game is divided into 5 cups: Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, and AX. I believe the AX arcade came out this game. I'm not entirely sure. But if you look at the courses on here, okay. But alright, Firefield Undulation. This course is pretty notorious. I call this the bitrate killer.
And that pipe hit was a classic, by the way.
Yeah, this course here, if you notice, you're going really fast in EX, so that alone causes a lot of like stress on like an internet if you're streaming at a low bitrate. But what makes this course even worse on bitrate is you have these little things of like ash flying around. So whenever like we want to test stream quality, whether or not we're streaming this game at a high rate or whatever, this is the perfect course to go to. I mean, you can make your opinions on how it is on this stream, but that's like this is a very heavy bitrate killing course.
I assure you, it's not high enough.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, this game is requires such a high bitrate. It still looks decent.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay, so that was called, as I mentioned, MTS into side attack dive. Well, that's the part he did that at. He does it because there's a gravity portion of that. Like once you go over the track there, it kind of pulls you down and takes your speed. So to get around that, you just do an MTS to the left and come back on the track when the gravity's influence is gone. And nice pipe hit.
Yeah, this course has the best pipes.
Yeah, this course, everything is against you. It's got bumps, it's got pipes. This is
really easy to fall through the cylinder here too.
Yeah, this is an insane course to get really good at. Like,
what the hell?
So, whenever you MTS into a jump plate, it gives you more speed. So naturally you jump higher. But to do a lot of these strats here, that's not enough. You actually have to boost into it. Anytime you're under the influence of boost, we call that boost state. So a boost state MTS combines the boost state benefit of getting a jump and also the speed you gain from an MTS so that you can clear these pipes here. Clearing those pipes are essential because underneath them's nothing but uneven terrain. So next is one of the best portions in this game, Aeropolis Dragon Slopes. I feel really bad for the staff ghost here because we can use even the worst vehicle possibly imaginable in this game, and we can still obliterate the staff ghost here, just because of one technique, and that's called MT. I did mention this earlier. If the course has a dive, you probably want to use a heavy vehicle. This is no exception. This course was made for Gallant use. This course, when he's doing these dives here, there's actually there's a kill plane on the left and right side. So he can't side attack dive too much in one direction, otherwise...
I got pretty close.
Yeah, you're really close.
Right here too, there's a kill plane category.
Yep. So in addition to MTS and the side attack dive, you want to land anytime you land back on the course. You want to land horizontal, or at least as near horizontal as possible to the track. That way you can achieve more speed. So combining horizontal landing with MT landing, which is where you touch the ground without having a held, you can easily hit 2k kilometers per hour. So Sanic used a technique right before he did a long MTS, before the ice patches. Just watch the tail end of his vehicle. I'll wait until it happens before I explain it.
Oh.
So you notice he used his boost, but he didn't have the A button held in to get the benefits of using the boost. That's because he's actually going so fast that just tapping the boost and letting go does another kind of MT, which is called boost state MT. If you looked at his speedometer while that happened, his speed just dramatically decreases. Like imagine, I think like every second he would lose 100 kilometers. It's ridiculously slow speed loss. And that benefit is huge when you combine it with an MTS coming out right after it. All you have to do is tap the A button and your boost button, because you can do those on the same frame. So as long as you just tap and release, you'll get the full benefit. This is Phantom Road. I'm kind of surprised he's using Black Bull here in a marathon setting. This is not the most friendly course in the game. It's very narrow. It's just narrow. You have to go fast, but you're very restricted on how your lateral movement is. Okay, so at the start of here, he was doing something weird with his vehicle where he was just doing mini side attacks. The way MTS works is...
Whoa! Okay, this course sucks.
I thought you actually did something huge there. You scared me. But yes, I'm going to mention this again. I am using a lot of acronyms for these techniques. We've been doing these games for many years. So if you really don't know, what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I will try to explain it more, but go to fzerocentral.org. It has a list of all the techniques we use, or at least just about all the ones that apply to what you're seeing here. The only one I really have to explain is called TS chaining. So MTS, as I said, is a technique where you get explosive speed gain for as long as the slide's happening. But once you end it, you get slight negative speed loss. Well, if you're going too slow, it's actually not possible to MTS. So during that time frame, instead of MTSing, we're not, we just do these little mini ones where we have the A button held in.
What
Yes,
the
thanks for
heck
like,
is going on?
I will mention again, this is Phantom Road. The corners, the rails of this course aren't really rails, I should say. They're very, I don't know how to explain them. They conform with the track. So, because the track's always uneven, these rails aren't going to be, horizontal with the ground. They just go with the terrain. So when you do stuff like rail slides or accidentally bump into it, your control is gone. It's shot, and it's really hard to get back to it. I've probably covered just about every technique one would need to know to do this game, but I want to go back to play styles real fast. We have two ways to play this, essentially, but you can play however you want as long as you follow the max speed rules. Non-side attack play and pretty much side attack play with the inclusion of E-rated body part vehicles. A lot of Fat Shark times don't benefit with side attacks. So that's a very good vehicle to use for non-side attack play. Sanic, what's your opinion on non-side attack black play? Because it's very awkward, I should say.
It's interesting. That's
Very
about it.
interesting. And a lot of boost MT points for a lot of vehicles is over 2,000. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain MT, like the actual way we do it. If you're using a lot of vehicles like Gallant, or at least in this case Quickstar, Quickstar's MT point is 1350. So if he's over 1350 and he's not boosting, and he's not doing anything that requires him to have the A button held in, you release the A button until you hit 1350. That's how you gain the benefits of MT. Boost state MT is a little bit trickier because it's a much higher speed, and there's not many applications for it, I should say, that are useful for us. But for the case of Fat Shark and Gallant, if you're going over at, I'd say 2100, don't quote me on that. I don't know the actual MT boost state MT points. But if you're going over that speed, you want to tap your boost and then go back to MT so that you can gain the benefits. So let's see how much of a madman that Super Sanic is. What a beast.
Had me scared a little bit, but if you go below the finish line, it won't count. So that's pretty close, apparently.
Yeah. So that was another super suicide right here. If you're noticing with Quick Start, you just want to smash into the wall and let gravity do its work. That suicide there is way more consistent than the one he did at Big Blue. The one he did at Big Blue, he was an idiot for even doing.
Yeah.
I am absolutely surprised he survived that. But for Screwdrive, it's very hard to fail it. I mean, you're only going to fail it if you're under pressure, or I don't see it. So yeah, that nice max acceleration snaking here by these staffers.
Yeah, what a cheater.
Like he's not even hiding it. So this is another course where Gallant beats other vehicles off solely because of its MT. If you're seeing a pattern here, this is probably one that doesn't make sense. Since a lot of courses where Gallant was better, you've probably seen like some diving or any place where you can do a lot of side attacks. This course here only has a tiny dive, but because of how the way its speed resonation is from shift boost, I would say it's still very close between this vehicle and the second fastest, which is Fat Shark. Or no, it's Black. All three vehicles, aside from Quick Start that Sanic used, have world record potential on this course. Like it's very rare to see three separate vehicles have world record potential, at least in 2016, because this game's been out for what, 14 years.
It keeps evolving, man.
Yeah,
I'll probably keep evolving for a while.
Yeah, this game evolved a lot with the inclusion of more boost MT, more more Black Bull, and I guess just crazier shift boost, really. Okay, so this is called Town Cylinder Wave. This is I would call it's like an oblong pipe track, where you're on the outside of a pipe, but it kind of flattens out in certain places, so it's a little easier to control.
Whoa!
It's got a lot of boost. It's got a lot of boost plates as well. So when it comes to who's the optimal vehicle for us, it's Fat Shark. But there are some interesting vehicles that are competing with this. I think this is the only course where we have suboptimal suboptimal custom vehicles that are actually better than Gallant and Quick Start. Cosmic Cannon G4 and Berserk Star G4 are two vehicles that have 139s on here, with the world record being a 136 with Fat Shark. Those vehicles solely benefit here because they don't lose grip. Anytime Fat Shark is cornering, even if you're doing minimal speed loss, which is quick turns, you're still losing speed, and if you really want to see if he's losing grip or whatever, look at anytime he takes a corner. If you see anything that's red, that's a telltale sign that you're losing grip, which means you're losing speed. Vehicles like, at least on here, Cosmic and Berserk, they don't exhibit those at all. So the only time you lose speed with those vehicles is if you're making mistakes. Solid time. That beats the world record from 10 years ago.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, Moo used Berserk Star Z or something.
Huh.
Which is actually the fastest custom vehicle on this course if you gave him the better booster. But yes, that's one of the few courses where we don't even use MTS. Actually, is that the only course we don't use MTS? Oh, Port Town, so Long Pipe. And yes, we have if you notice that Bond 2X link, I'm sorry for getting to it so late, but that's our non-custom, that's called our Staff Ghost project. Staff Ghost project was started like, what would you say, 2011 by people who did the Twin Narita time attack competition. They used Twin Narita because its boost is insane. Like, if you gave Twin Narita half the techniques we use in this game, it would probably be the world record vehicle and everything.
Yeah, Twin Narita's boost is almost close to Fat Shark's. It's just really light, so it doesn't get the dives or anything like that.
Yeah. So pretty much that's a community project to attempt to beat every single staff ghost in this game using the max speed rule set and only using the vehicles the game gave us. So we're not allowed to use any custom vehicles. And so far, I believe we've completed over 90%. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe only 4 vehicles have done every single staff boost. And countless others don't have really a remote chance of doing it because of Sonic Oval being the only course that a lot of vehicles just can't compete in. Because it's Sonic Oval staff boost is actually one of the strongest in this game. I'd say it's the strongest, maybe second only to Twist Road.
And Silver Knot.
Yeah. Yeah. This course here is very long, unfortunately. And you'll notice that in between boosts that Santic's actually releasing the accelerator for a few moments. After every boost, there's a tiny delay where you're not allowed to boost. And during that time, it's beneficial to MT. And I believe this technique hasn't been used until, what would you say, like early 2010? Like I know a lot of the runners of this game that are high on the ladder didn't really use it since it wasn't known at the time.
2 more courses left.
Yep, 2 more courses. Next course is Green Plant Spiral. I believe this course has the most shortcuts in it. Serial Gaps is kind of one giant shortcut every. Would you consider that one shortcut or 2?
It's like a 2-parter, I guess.
2-parter to 1.
Like, you go out of the tunnel, and then hit the jump pad, and then swim the jump pad to the next platform.
Well, Green Plant Spiral has, I believe, 3 shortcuts. One of them has a death plane, I should say, because how the thing works, which is right here. If you're using Gallant here, you have no choice but to smack that wall. It's unavoidable. I must have been wrong in the empty boosting part. But yeah, this course used to have the world record using Quick Start until like 2 months. Wait, last month I think.
Very recent.
It's the most recent GX record. CGN used the vehicle you're watching right now, Gallant Star, and he completely destroyed the record by nearly 10 seconds. It was kind of theorized that Gallant would be the optimal vehicle, but no one has really gotten a good time with it until I think Santic set his current PB here, 251.
Yep.
But the shortcut on this course, the one you're going to see him take at the end of this course is, well, I'll do it in order. That was the first shortcut. The second shortcut is right here, where you just go straight to the bottom right there. And the third shortcut is right after this point. I'll wait and see if he gets it. Alright,
It's
so
really
when he was
difficult to
going,
get this shortcut.
yeah, this vehicle is very hard to get the shift boost because you need the benefits of 2 shift boost and I believe boost state MT. Pretty much every technique GX has to offer you have to do just to get this one shortcut.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's But at the very, very high level, this vehicle will not be beaten by any other vehicle. I think Quickstore can get down to a 245, but I absolutely do not see it being this vehicle anymore. But that's always nice to see. You know, GX is always evolving. It's nice to see it evolve. We're slowly moving away from, you know, being Quickstore dependent on 4 world records and Gallant taking them. So it's nice to see.
I ruined it.
But there are a couple courses where we know Quickstore is not going to be beaten there, barring extraordinary circumstances. I also should say the vehicles Sonic used in this run, not every one of them were off. But because this is, you know, all staff goes, it's actually beneficial to, it's actually faster to not load the custom vehicles and just pick whatever one's the second best if it's a non-custom. And you'll save time based on how long it takes to load.
Get ready on time after this
Yeah.
course.
So if you guys are watching on the front page of Twitch, I highly recommend clicking the stream Flash player and, you know, come join us for more speedruns. Speedrunning is an incredibly fun hobby, and it's got a huge and welcoming community, and we'd like to have you guys a part of it. This is Mute City Sonic Oval, which has you'll notice he's just going straight up against it with Fat Shark, but this is a very strong staff ghost.
If any staff ghost is going to beat me, it's going to be this one.
Yes, this is the only staff ghost in this game that'll give you a problem in runs. It's strong. I don't know what its settings are, but
It's max speed.
it's the same as you.
Yeah.
Nice. So you can kind of see why it's so hard to beat.
Time.
If you
Time.
Hi. I might be like a second off or so, but 1:11:55.
that's actually really good.
Considering how many times I died, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Give it to me. But yeah, that was all Staff Ghost by Super Sonic.
Hope you all enjoyed that. And thank you for the commentary, by the way. I know it was a lot.
You're welcome. I'd rather be sleeping right now, but
No,
gotta help
sorry
my
about
need. No, that's fine. It was a good run.
Yeah, thanks.